All right, a poll to help you guys with this concept of homologous structures, vestigial structures, or analogous structures. The Mexican blind cavefish, Astyanax mexicanus, which no longer has vision, contains small organs that closely resemble eyes. Researchers looked at members of the same species that lived above ground as opposed to caves and noted that they displayed perfect vision. This is an example of. Remember, pause it. I want you guys to think about it before I give you the answer. What could this be an example of? This is definitely an example of a vestigial structure. It looks like these fish here have organs that resemble eyes, but they're not using their eyes anymore. So it's a vestigial structure since there's no more getting use out of it. Their ancestors had sight, and most likely they are descended from the fish that lived above ground that had perfect vision. But now that they're in this environment, this cave-like environment, they no longer need that structure to survive. Structures inherited from a common ancestor are homologous. True or false? Definitely true. I do want to stress out that homologous structures are similar in characteristics, can be different in function. There is a common ancestor. This is very much true. Some birds and insects can fly using a wing-like structure. However, they do not share a common ancestor. What is this an example of? As you guys are answering this, I do want to point out this evolutionary tree. Here's the descent over time, and I can actually see birds coming here. So birds and insects do share a common ancestor. If we go back so many years, we will find a common ancestor. In fact, all living things on Earth share a common ancestor. I can point it down to the cell or the organelle that's going to be, or the organic compound that's going to be the ancestor of all living things. But I'm talking about when the structure appeared along the evolutionary timeline. So here on this tree, the origin of wings appeared before the common ancestor with insects. So here's the origin of wings here, and then it looks like the branch here. So there is no common ancestor between the two prior to the origin of wings. What is this an example of? Analogous structures, definitely we have wings. So wings are going to be similar in function for flight for both the bird and the insect. There is no common ancestor. And so they developed independently from relation.